如此美丽的事物，怎么会这样凋零？瘟疫正在毁灭这片土地，尽管生命之树依然矗立，但还能坚持多久？新的世界即将迎来终焉，部族之间分崩离析，需要一位强者带领他们走向统一，又或者将他们毁灭。这故事，欢迎来到生化变种。为你的 DNA 进行编码。定义你的基因结构。为你的定义你的选择基因恢复。定义你选择基因恢复，选择你的绒毛风格。选择你的主配色。选择你的细节颜色。选择职业，雇佣兵。死亡眼。突击队员，灵能者，破坏者，哨兵，雇佣兵。已选择雇佣兵。 会成功的。一人身负过去，无奈地卷入历史的聚光灯之下。
We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your ki, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be precise, an echo of the balance and consequence of your actions.
So glad you realize who you really are. Let's keep to the bright and better path moving on.
You can't contradict yourself like that.
Because you can't deny.
But remember, this is just the beginning of the...
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Slice and dice. Better than nothing. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Hack and slash. Small things for your big ideas. Trigger finger. Pow! emergency box from the once was are a rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Logs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Who needs a weapon? Fists of Fury. Keep hauling yourself into the air? That's more like it. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industry, they began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Let's try that again. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Swoop. Flash the slash. That's going to leave a mark. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just... He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great... The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an... The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy... He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land. The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. He understands why you came all the way out here. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might be right. Like potatoes, they're The non... You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for... The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. You and... He's grateful for all the help. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 20... One day, he... But today, your focus is getting this one to become one... Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no From this day on, one day, you can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and he says you'd better hurry back to the... No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a... He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it... The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after... The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, the Toxanol Corp... His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater: the Mekton, the Octopod, the Majute, and... Regardless, you'll meet again. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life... He doesn't know what your connection is to this place. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He can't.
Good work, clever clogs. Let me guide you into the dark.
Seriously? I always thought better of you than that.
And you were wrong. There's always more dark than light.
There's still time to turn back.
They're already heading down my road.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. The Jagni tribe is likely to be your regardless of... The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. He believes you share Jagni's view on the world. Regardless, Jagni would welcome someone that had helped. He'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of... Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the... Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. Right in the face. Chop, chop. The deep cut. Your energy is empty. Now that's a flesh wound. You're not dead yet. Wham! They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says just because you've made time to meet the Sifu doesn't mean...
Zata is the muito tloho. Kariesne zdace. Paro, ya put...
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves. There's sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught... Your Muma... The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside. At least, Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become... Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So embracing that side of you and helping them vanquish the tribes and letting the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life should be an easy decision. He expected you'd join them. You understand that the universe runs on the... The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants... The Jagni's destiny is to do what others are too afraid to do. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises, and they have no intention of letting this drag out, or he wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Uko.
You both share dark thoughts, so they want to wage a war.
Osikali.
Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the right.
Idlis umoy toksadaga.
Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon.
Zanamach.
The only kin who count are the kin that are left standing at the end of the war. Let's focus on
Nauko unis poloknost.
seeing you brings back.
Unavochni dlohoni.
Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omni.
O visoko dulatsi ni
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
ite reki.
Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sent.
Mali muzamit.
It's always the little things you remember. Claims to have strange things from the dead zone that are so. Seize your Says it's good to meet a fellow. Peddler is eager for you. Says there's.
Tare toma adwale arukida.
Flex up. The gatekeeper... Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. What a blow! Half-lifed. Not going to happen with your key energy levels. Sharp steel. Getting swole. Seems like a peculiar item. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade. And sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He understands Wang Fu is hard. That's why your Muma only has... He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Why not? There's... He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? Way to go. But you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen. You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. Judging by your Muma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You can't rely solely... You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, she'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. With a passion for learning, you'll never cease to grow. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. You should look for... He wonders what usefulness you have. He said he can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. He says only a few are willing to do the little. He'd... You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He appreciates that. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. He thinks mastering the signal he's looking for. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience.
Kalino?
You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. That's all she's ever asked. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow. Then start by meeting her on the village square. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He's not. There's no way they'll. He wants to know who you think you are. He says you're right. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She's there for all disciples. That's her commitment. It's time to focus on your training now. You won't need excuses. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He suggests you get... He's curious to see what you found. He says whatever, he can work wonders with pretty much anything, and asks if you know how to upcycle. Thinks some are. He says it's about time you learn. The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. Agree? You should take it with you. Wear it to practice. He's sure your Muma will forgive. Your Muma says it's about time you got here. Hopes you're as ready as you claim to be. But there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back. Wants you to prove that with some practice. Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you. That's all she's been working on a present for you, with the help of Gizmo and Wiz. You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it. That's why you should... Catchy.
Sanna jo det.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. It's wonderful.
Veri?
Figuring that out,
Kannamunta.
a piece of Scraptronics like this has built-in old-world tech that makes it a potent communication device.
Tateko baba sakting.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you...
Kannamunta.
You're lucky to have such...
Sanna jo tutupu.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Brumblene marsamaun.
Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Antoro. Kensi. Kamonu.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it.
Antoro.
Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupin. This time there's no escape. She can hear...
Inadabsunka.
There's nowhere to run to this time. The time has come to stop.
Masanna.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And
Kamonu.
she tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do...
Ruhemutun.
She loves how brave you are. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. Sacrifice is made for someone else. It's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on.
The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet.
They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk's on the loose. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk's on the loose.
Got it.
Cracker Doom.
Carving it up.
You're bruised. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk was on the loose. Want to fall back. It was harder than They've received news a group of... You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost.